15 Things Travelers Should Avoid in Jamaica. With its pristine beaches, mouth-watering seafood, and extremely laid-back vibe, Jamaica is the ultimate Caribbean getaway. There's no wonder that this sunny island nation remains one of the most popular vacation destinations, as you can enjoy everything here from fresh eats, being out in nature, great music, and exciting nightlife. Though it can be very exciting to plan out every single thing you want to do on your trip, it would also help to be mindful of the things that you should avoid. Number 1. Avoid exploring the island by cab. Although one would think that taking a cab would be the best way to explore an unfamiliar place, there are actually a few reasons why it would be best to avoid exploring the island by private cab, especially if it is your first time there. Mainly, this is because there is a bargaining culture in Jamaica, and if you are not accustomed to haggling, some drivers may take advantage, and demand you to pay an unfairly expensive fare. Though not all drivers are out to scam you, it would be wiser to just make use of services like car rentals or even guided tours of the city. Number 2. Don't eat non-local seafood. With its beautiful coasts, Jamaica is also rich in fresh and delicious seafood. While it could be tempting to try every seafood dish on the menu, it would be wise to be mindful of which kinds of seafood are available locally, and which ones have to be sourced elsewhere. It is best to avoid non-local seafood, because these tend to be less fresh, and priced higher. You'll end up paying more for lower quality seafood. Some of these non-local seafood to look out for include tiger prawns, salmon, and the like. Lobster, while sourced locally, is another type of seafood to steer clear of during the months of July through March, as catching them is illegal during the off-season. Number 3. Don't take rides with strangers in the city. Another thing to avoid when exploring the city is traveling or taking rides with strangers. Although you should definitely mingle with the residents, and even make some new friends along the way, this is fairly standard advice. Putting yourself in a position where you can be taken advantage of by a complete stranger in an unfamiliar place is not the most prudent thing to do, no matter where you are. It would be better if you could take public transport, like buses, or the red plate cabs, and simply ask the drivers for directions, if you are unsure. Number 4. Don't lose sight of your belongings. When traveling, it's always best practice to keep an eye on your belongings. In Jamaica, beware of pickpockets in tourist hotspots like Montego Bay and Ocho Rios. Always keep your wallet in your front pockets, and your money tucked safely somewhere in your person. If you lose any valuables, you might be hard-pressed to find help from local police. Though dedicated and well-meaning, the Jamaican police are not always reliable when it comes to dealing with petty crimes. This is because they are, unfortunately, severely underpaid and understaffed. There simply isn't enough manpower to deal with all the crimes that occur. This is why it is important to exercise caution on your trip. Number 5. Avoid wandering away from your group. When in Jamaica as a tourist, it's best to travel as a group and avoid wandering alone. Even in resorts where it's generally safe, and the staff friendly, and accommodating, it is often advised not to let yourself be alone. Tourists are not exempt from crimes like petty theft and assault, and news reports about the harassment faced by tourists have surfaced over the last few years. Number 6. Look to your left when you cross the road. It can take some time to get used to the different ways of doing things in a foreign destination, but being aware of differences can save your life. In most Caribbean islands, motorists drive on the left, as opposed to the right in the US. When crossing streets in Jamaica, you may find that you need to make a more active effort to check the left, as well as the right, to avoid oncoming traffic. Number 7. Don't backpack alone through Jamaica. Though the idea of exploring a country as beautiful as Jamaica sounds very exciting, it is actually not recommended for tourists, especially those who are inexperienced, or just visiting the country for the first time, to go backpacking alone. This ties into the advice listed earlier, regarding sharing rides with strangers and traveling in groups. Backpackers are among the top targets of criminals in Jamaica, because they are often vulnerable, and know very little about the area. It definitely would be safer if you set an itinerary, and choose to visit highly populated areas instead of going off the beaten path. Number 8. Avoid walking around Kingston at night. As Jamaica's capital city, Kingston is one of the busiest, and most popular areas. There is plenty that you can enjoy here during the day, including the beautifully preserved 19th century Devon House, as well as the National Gallery of Jamaica. At night, however, these areas become a hotbed of crime. Kingston is notorious for its high crime rates, particularly within the inner city areas. To avoid becoming a victim of these crimes, it is best to explore Kingston during the day. If you must get around Kingston at night, be sure to travel as a group, and stick to well-lit, heavily populated areas. Number 9. Don't get overwhelmed by touts. When you visit the beaches of Jamaica or the markets, it's easy to get overwhelmed by touts selling all kinds of different things. This is often cited as a big complaint from travelers to Jamaica, but if you respectfully decline their offers, they will leave you alone. They aren't aggressive, and if you treat them with respect, they will treat you with respect. Number 10. Don't try to use a Jamaican accent. It might seem funny or fun to try and adopt a local accent, but it can really be seen as an insult, like you are making fun of them. This really applies to any country you visit, not just Jamaica. Number 11. Don't exchange money. Jamaica has so many visitors from the United States, that nearly every place you visit will accept American dollars. The exchange rate might fluctuate a bit from vendor to vendor, but you can easily use your money from home, and not worry about getting Jamaican dollars during your trip. Number 12. Don't forget to apply sunscreen early and often. Let's face it, most people visit Jamaica for the beaches. The sun in the Caribbean is really strong, so don't forget to bring your sunscreen, and reapply it several times throughout the day. If you're staying at a resort in Jamaica, the prices for sunscreen will shock you, so it's best to bring your own from home. Make sure you bring bug spray too. Number 13. Stick to mineral water and keep yourself hydrated. Is the water safe to drink in Jamaica? Mostly, tap water in Jamaica is safe to drink, but in more remote areas you may want to avoid drinking water straight out of the tap, unless it has been boiled, filtered or otherwise treated. To be on the safe side, it might be best to stick with mineral water, or other bottled versions, sold at most supermarkets, shops, and bars on the island. Brushing your teeth with tap water, however, is generally considered safe. Number 14. Bring a waterproof case for your phone. If there's one travel tip you'll regret not following upon arrival to sunny Jamaica, it's this one. There are so many opportunities in Jamaica to visit water parks, beaches, and waterfalls that it just makes sense to keep your phone safe in a waterproof case. That way you'll still be able to take photos, and use your phone, without it getting damaged. Number 15. Expecting punctuality. The laid-back vibe exhibited by locals helps put tourists into the vacation spirit, but travelers expecting punctuality may be disappointed. Island time is alive and well here, where restaurants are often slow to take orders and serve food, and tour groups and cabs often depart later than the specified time. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to this channel.